A bullet could not silence her voice. Welcome to Story Studio 91. Malala Yousafzai sat on a school bus in Pakistan. The year was 2012. She was 15 years old. She had just finished her exams. She was laughing with her friends. The bus rolled through the streets of her hometown, Mingara. Then it stopped. A young man climbed aboard. He asked a simple question. "Who is Malala?" Before anyone could answer, he raised a gun. He fired 3 shots. 1 bullet went through Malala's head. She collapsed. Blood poured from her skull. The gunman jumped off the bus and disappeared. Malala's friends screamed. They thought she was dead. Malala was born in 1997 in the Swat Valley of Pakistan. It is a beautiful place surrounded by mountains. Her father, Ziauddin, ran a small school. He believed that girls deserved education just as much as boys. This belief was dangerous. The Taliban controlled the region. They believed girls should stay home. They should cook and clean and obey. They should never learn to read or write. They burned schools. They threatened teachers. They killed anyone who disagreed with them. But Ziauddin refused to close his school. He kept teaching girls. He kept fighting for their right to learn. Malala watched her father's courage. She learned from it. When she was just 11 years old, the Taliban banned girls from going to school. They announced it on the radio. They said any girl who disobeyed would be punished. Hundreds of schools were destroyed. Parents were terrified. They kept their daughters home. Malala was heartbroken. She loved school. She loved learning. Education was her dream. So she did something brave. She started writing a blog. The BBC Urdu service was looking for a student to write about life under Taliban rule. Malala volunteered. She used a fake name to protect herself. She wrote about the fear, about the bombs, about the schools burning, about her desperate wish to keep learning. Her words were powerful. People around the world started reading her blog. They learned what was happening in Swat Valley. As Malala got older, she became bolder. She started speaking publicly. She gave interviews. She used her real name. She appeared on television. She told the world that girls deserved education. She said the Taliban was wrong. She said nobody had the right to take away a child's future. Her father stood beside her. He was proud, but he was also terrified. He knew the Taliban was watching. The threats started coming. Anonymous phone calls, messages warning her to stop. But Malala refused to be silent. She was 14 years old and she was fighting for millions of girls who had no voice. She knew the danger. She knew the cost. But she believed some things were worth dying for. Education was one of them. Then came that terrible day on the school bus. The bullet entered the left side of her forehead. It traveled under her skin and stopped in her shoulder. Malala was rushed to a hospital in Pakistan. The doctors worked frantically. Her skull was fractured. Her brain was swelling. They did not know if she would survive. Pakistan did not have the medical equipment to save her. So she was airlifted to Birmingham, England. She was in a coma. Her parents did not know if they would ever speak to their daughter again. But Malala survived. Days turned into weeks. Slowly, miraculously, she woke up. The left side of her face was paralyzed. She could barely speak, but she was alive. The bullet that was meant to silence her had failed. Malala spent months in the hospital. She had multiple surgeries. Doctors rebuilt part of her skull with titanium. They restored her hearing. They helped her face heal. Throughout it all, Malala never complained. She never asked why this happened to her. She only asked one question. When can I go back to school? The attack made Malala famous worldwide. Her story was on every news channel. World leaders called to check on her. Millions of people prayed for her recovery. The Taliban had wanted to stop her. Instead, they gave her the biggest platform in the world. Malala used it. She spoke at the United Nations on her 16th birthday. She looked out at world leaders and said something unforgettable. One child, one teacher, one book, one pen can change the world. Malala started a foundation to support girls' education around the world. She traveled to countries where girls were denied school. She met with presidents and prime ministers. She demanded they invest in education. She became the voice for 130 million girls who were not in school. And then, in 2014, something historic happened. Malala won the Nobel Peace Prize. She was 17 years old, the youngest Nobel laureate in history. A girl who survived a bullet to the head was now standing on the world's biggest stage. Today, Malala has graduated from Oxford University. She continues fighting for girls' education. Her foundation has helped thousands of girls go to school. She has met with leaders in every corner of the globe. She has written books that inspire millions. The girl the Taliban tried to kill became one of the most powerful voices on earth. Malala once said something that defines her spirit. "I tell my story not because it is unique, but because it is the story of many girls." She is right. Millions of girls face violence and oppression every day. Millions are denied the right to learn. Malala fights for all of them. She turns her pain into purpose. She turns her suffering into strength. You might think you are too young to make a difference. You might think your voice does not matter. But Malala was 11 when she started her blog. She was 14 when she faced death. She was 17 when she won the Nobel Prize. Age is not a limit. Fear is not a wall. Courage is a choice. What are you willing to fight for? What cause burns in your heart? What voice are you too afraid to use? Remember Malala. A bullet could not stop her. Nothing should stop you. If this story inspired you, please like the video and subscribe to Story Studio 91. Share this message with someone who needs courage today. Remind them that one voice can change the world.